Okay, I believe we are live. Shevon's in the lobby. I'm bringing his arse in here in just a sec. Can we do a quick sound check? Can we do a quick sound check? Can you guys hear me clearly before we get going? Let me start off by saying I'd like to apologise for. I think I was a little bit too animated in my original in my original instant reaction to Tyson Fury knocking out Deontay Wilder in round 11 to retain the WBC ring and Lineal championships of the world. So again, I extend my apologies to Smoke Me a Kipper. I've been trying to find this dude to unblock him and I can't, but Smoke Me a Kipper, if you're still interested in following this channel, if you just give me an email at ultratechsports@gmail.com and give me a link to your YouTube profile, I'll unblock you. Luke Bignall, I've already unblocked you. And again, like I said before, I hardly slept. I've just actually got a few hours in right now. All right. Literally, I hadn't slept for quite a while. And, you know, not to make excuses, but I don't know. I wasn't at my best. Right. Everybody can hear me crystal clear. Let's get going. Let me just set up my mic very, very quickly. And let me bring in Shevon. And hold on, let me just organize the screen. Brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sound like shit.
You're right. Bro. Last night I was screaming like crazy. Obviously, I had some very, very special fans sitting right behind me, and when Wilder scored those two knockdowns in that fourth round, me and my boy, I lost it.
let me ask you. I'm going to ask you for your thoughts in a second, right? Mm-hmm. Before I ask you for your thoughts, let me just ask you, right? When Fury got knocked down with that right hand in round 4, what did you think? Did you think that was it?
The second one, I thought it was it. The first one, it was so clean and it was such a beautiful punch right on the end, mid to short range. And I saw it go down. When I saw him get up, and the ref. Now I'm not making an excuse. Of course, Fury's the man who won the fight. I thought the ref could have stopped the fight. When the ref got up and asked Fury to give me your hands and walk here, Fury's legs were still shaky. And that's when I said, once I saw him got up, I said, this is over. Wilder's going to finish him.
I wish I could obviously show the right hand, but, you know, I don't think there's any channel in the history of YouTube that's been done more for copyright than this one here. So I can't show it. But I would encourage you guys to look that up on Twitter. I mean, the first right hand that Wilder landed on Fury to get the knockdown was just... It was unbelievable. He punched right through the target. You see that, Shevon? Yep. He literally punched through Fury, through the target. His hand deflected off Fury's skull. And let me tell you something, and we'll get into your thoughts on the fight. You said something to me about you think you know the mistake that Wilder made, and we'll ask you about that in a second. Let me tell you a mistake that Wilder made. I can name a few, but I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want him to win this fight. I'll be honest. I didn't want Wilder to win this fight because I'm not happy with some of the comments outside of the ring. But he won me back over with his performance. I thought his performance in the ring was outstanding. But let me just quickly say a big mistake. We're going to show you some comments in just a sec. Actually, I'm going to show them on the screen. Malik Scott has confirmed that Deontay Wilder has broken his hand.
Yep, that's where I was going.
You knew he was going. Listen, I knew you were going. When Wilder switched to them horsehair gloves, I knew he was going to break his hands. He's always had Wilder's been breaking his hands in fights for years. And when he switched to them horsehair gloves, Shevon, I knew he's going to break his hand in this fight. Carry on, Shev.
So, yeah, I saw an interview this morning. I saw he broke his hand. Of course, I followed that whole glove stuff before the fight and yesterday after the weigh-in as well. I was watching those glove videos and Wilder and his team being very concerned with Fury's gloves, which personally, I didn't have a problem with it, right? They felt there was some issues with the gloves before. In big fights, fighters have issues with gloves or this glove and padding. That's actually very normal. Wilder's is exaggerated because they accused him of Fury of putting something in the glove, but the whole glove stuff or precautions about your opponent's gloves is fine with me and it's normal. Didn't have a big deal with it. But as I've been following Wilder for a long time. So Wilder, he used to wear those RX gloves. He used to wear them, but he stopped wearing them because he kept breaking his fucking hand. So he stopped wearing them. He said this on the interview with 78 Sports TV yesterday. He says, listen, I'm going to change gloves because they said that the Vegas Commission decided they're not going to change Fury's gloves, so I'll even the playing field and I'll wear the Everlast version of the horsehair gloves, which is a puncher's glove, which is a glove I used to wear that I was breaking people's eye sockets, but I had to stop wearing it. Okay? He didn't stop wearing that glove. Everyone remembers because he broke his hand twice wearing those freaking gloves. So you're so concerned about Fury's gloves, you change to a horsehair glove that you don't wear because it doesn't protect your hand. And I wonder, Ultra, if he broke his hand with that shot, because for the next 3 or 4 rounds, he would not throw a right hand. And even the time he dropped Fury, the second time, it was with a palm shot to the side of Fury's head. He was not throwing it straight because I think that's when he broke his hand. So it's just that bro, you're just so concerned about the gloves, it caused you to make a decision. What's it called? Like overcompensate, whatever.
Well, let me just jump in. First and foremost, the only thing to me more shocking, than the way that fight went last night is the fact that you sound like shit. You sound like 78 Sports TV. You actually sound just like 78 Sports. Honest to Chevin, you sound like you just put on like 10 kilos overnight. You sound like you're carrying weight. Shit, listen, a brother's worried, A little bit worried about you. I've never met you. I don't know you, but I'm a bit worried about you because you sound bloody dreadful. I never heard you sound so bad. And you're still sweet talking all these fine ass women with that dodgy voice you got there.
Listen, after the fight, I left. I was going to take my silly ass back to the room, but ended up going out. Me and my boys make sure we have a good time. Remind ourselves it's just sport, like you said to me earlier. It's just sport. Who gives a damn? Root for your team, root for your guys, win, lose. Go on about your day the next day. So yeah, I do sound terrible because that 4th round, there was a guy behind me. I'll tell you what happened. That guy, this guy behind me is talking. And this is why I'll never go to another live fight. I'm sitting there. The guy behind me is trying to impress this girl, and this guy's a punk. This guy's a pussy. This Wilder. Look at he's scared. He's scared of Fury. He's afraid. And then when Fury dropped, he goes, "Yep, there you go. There you go. I told you. I told you, Beatrice. I told you. I told you. I told this Wilder guy he's a bum. You know what, Beatrice? About 10 years ago, I could take that bum." And when Fury floored him, man, I became a 13-year-old troll, and I lost it. I mean, I'm surprised they have thrown me out of there.
Listen, let me start off by saying this, Chef. First and foremost, we'll talk about the fight and all that in a sec. I want to make a point to you, and you tell me if you think I'm right or wrong. Dave says Chevin banging more in Vegas than Wilder and Fury. Let's move on from that. What were we going to say? Look, I think deep down, Chevin, going into this fight, I had a feeling that Wilder was gonna find a way. My head said Fury's gonna win this fight, but my gut said Wilder was gonna find a way. But do you know, honestly, Chev, I think Deontay Wilder knew in his heart that all the stuff he talked about, the gloves being tampered with and the drink being spiked, I think that's bullshit, Chevin. And I think, do you know what? About half an hour before the fight was about to start, or at the time Wilder was meant to walk out, that's when I realized he doesn't believe any of this talk. And I'll tell you why. The fact that he switched gloves and switched the gloves, and he was willing to wear the same gloves as Fury and do all this kind of that, to me, like I said before, if you've been robbed and you believe your drink's been spiked, and you believe the other man's had illegal hand wraps, you don't go to those levels. You don't start switching gloves at the last minute and doing those kind of mental gymnastics, right? He's had 2 years to prepare for the fight. And, 24 hours behind the fight, before the fight, he's doing all this mental gymnastics over gloves. That straight away tells me he doesn't believe in any of the stuff that he was talking. And also, I don't know what you thought, but Jimmy Lennon Jr. last night stood in that ring for 20 minutes waiting for Deontay Wilder to come out. Now, the official line is there was a problem with the gloves, right? Wilder had a problem getting his hands in the gloves, or there was some problem with the pair of gloves that he chosen. But BT showed a camera backstage. I saw him, a pastor, Malik Scott, and the whole team in a circle doing some prayer, doing Lord knows what. And you know what? When he didn't come out at that time he was supposed to come out, to me, I could be completely wrong. I could be completely overdoing it. But to me, that told me that he does not believe in any of these conspiracy theories, that he knows that he's got to prep himself because he's going to go into the fight of his life. He's going to have to fight for his life. And I think he knew going into that fight that he was going to take some serious punishment and he was going to have to walk through the fire to get the victory. What do you think about that?
So I agree with you 100%. And I felt that way right after the press conference. Yeah. So actually during the press conference, Tyson Fury made a very simplistic point where he says, if I stuff my gloves, right? I stuff my gloves and all this cheating, I spiked your water. Deontay, why would you have the best training camp of your life, do all this extra training, change camp, the best camp of your life, change trainers? If you just believe I cheated you, you would just come back and do the exact same thing and knock me out. And Deontay Wilder smiled and looked at the floor right after Fury said that. I said, he knows.
He knows.
Yes.
He knows.
And the thing about that is, I forgot the guy's name. It might be Andy Clark. He was on this pre-fight podcast with Rob
Boxing
Tepper.
Social? Yeah.
And he made a good point. He says, listen, all the allegations and things, the only thing that matters is whether or not Wilder and his coach think it's BS. Because if they think it's BS, they'll train appropriately for it. And listen to Malik Scott say, even in the interview I heard this morning, he goes, yeah, allegations and Wilder believed. I said, that's actually a good thing. So he thought it was BS. Wilder thought it was BS. And that's why they trained so hard. So his mindset, I think, was probably as best as it probably could have been, but it went too far. Changing those freaking gloves was just stupid, bro. It was just, why would you do that?
Wilder was spooked. And I should have spotted that earlier. As soon as he changed to them horsehair MXs, I should have realized. It took me a while. That's the first thing I thought is his hands are going to break because we watched Wilder fights. We knew that. That's the first thing I thought is this man's hands are going to break in the fight. And the second thing is like, for me, it really hit home. Like I said, he really did not want to come out. Not saying he wasn't scared of anything, but he wanted to make sure, the team around him, the pastor there saying the prayer. That's not the sign of a man who's thinking, I've been cheated. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get rid of this guy. That's the sign of a man who knew he was going to have to go through some serious punishment. Now, let me just say this here. What do you think about, let me ask you another question. We'll talk about the actual fight in a sec, but I'm going to ask you some different questions because we've already, everybody's asked these questions about the performance. We'll get into Malik Scott and Wilder. Listen, by the way, I think Wilder made the better, chat, give me a yes or a no. I think that Deontay Wilder made the better adjustments than Tyson Fury did from fight 2 to fight 3. That's just my opinion, all right? We'll talk about that in a sec. Shevin, if you took the Anthony Joshua who fought Alexander Usyk, right? And you put him in the ring tonight with the Deontay Wilder who got stopped in 11 by Tyson Fury. Who's the last man standing?
That's Deontay Wilder, easy. And it's not so much, obviously I'm a Wilder fan, but the thing that gets me the most is, and it's not really a knock to AJ. AJ's a warrior. He's a brave guy. I'm not saying he's a pussy. We don't call fighters cowards and things on this channel. But Deontay Wilder, that right hand he landed.
Oh, he was hurt. God.
He was hurt.
Jesus Christ. Guys, can I just say, guys, you have to go and look on Twitter at the actual slow replay. Wilder's hand, he punched through the target. His hand literally deflected off Fury's head. And you know what I mean, Shevin?
Yeah,
it was just an unreal shot he hit him with. Carry on.
But the fact that he was able to score that punch with no legs, he was tired as hell, no legs, fatigue. And after getting off the canvas, he came back and landed a shot like that after being severely hurt. No knock to AJ, but we've seen AJ hurt like that, and he spit his mouthpiece out and would not come out the corner.
Man, listen, there's no way AJ's taking a shot like that and coming back. He might get up, but when he gets up, he'll stay down after that. There's no way he's taking a shot like that. And that's no disrespect to Anthony Joshua.
None.
I'm just being real. Let me. I know you've seen this tweet. I kind of spoiled it for you. I was hoping you wouldn't see it until we come on this show. But guys, let's try and cheer up Shevin with this tweet. He's already seen it. This is the kind of nonsense that we're seeing out on Twitter in a minute with these AJ fans. They're still trying to make it all about Anthony Joshua. You see what I mean? Even though, listen, they did the same thing when Fury beat Wilder the second time around. Apparently, Fury's victory becomes AJ's victory. Look at this tweet, Shevin. Olympic gold medalist, 2-time world champ, can box and punch, the cash cow. Wilder can't box. Well done, Tyson Fury, but Anthony Joshua will knock you out. You get dropped every fight, twice in the first fight, twice in the second Wilder fight. The true lion is AJ. The true lion is... What the fuck? Bro, the
man talking like this. Grown ass man.
Bro, the true lion, was about 10 seconds away from getting stopped by a fucking cruiserweight. What is this shit? What the fuck is going on?
Listen, man. And know what else too? I'm glad the guy brought that tweet up. The cash cow. You know what? Fury, AJ, listen, AJ could win that rematch. Although I favor Usyk, but say AJ wins it. People don't want to hear this. Is what British boxing fans don't want to hear this. But this is kind of a moving forward comment. The AJ Fury fight now becomes even more difficult to make because AJ is a severe B-side to Tyson Fury. And I'm not saying that because he beat Wilder. It's just his commercial value is so much larger than Anthony Joshua's. And I can't see Matchroom them accepting that kind of a split.
Let me just, I mean, Fury's, I've got a feeling, I could be completely wrong, right? I know, we'll get back to Wilder in a sec. In fact, let me ask you this question about Wilder now before I forget to ask you. Mm-hmm. Wilder at 220. What happens? Wilder at 220.
Wilder at 220, he closed the distance about 0.3 seconds faster in the first 2 rounds so. and night. I think Wilder 220 against 100% Fury at 270, he's gonna get smashed. My point is, I think last night's sluggish Fury, in my opinion, he didn't look right to me. But last night's Fury against the 220 Wilder, I think Wilder probably gets him out of it. That's my opinion. Yeah, there was a few punches where in the first 2 rounds where Wilder closed the distance and he was a 0.3 seconds too late and Fury was able to slip it. And that comes from a lot of extra weight. Now, the counter to that would be, I think Wilder did better in the clinches this time, although he really struggles to throw shots in the clinches, but he did better. He threw a few shots in the clinches that really landed and hurt Fury. What was that, was that the 8th round when he landed that one shot on Fury, but right for the round ended? Fury was about to go down that round too. So
right, yeah, I don't remember it, but somebody else did say that Fury was hurt again in round 8. I can't.
Yeah, it was in the round. Fury, if he had 20 more seconds, because after the 4th round, I said the next man that goes down will not get up because they're too big and they're both
100%. Yeah.
And that 8th round, it was about 10 seconds left. Wilder landed an uppercut on the clinches, and Fury was hurt bad. And
actually, I remember that. Yeah.
He was going to go down with the bell saved him. He went down that round. He would not have got back up.
Let me ask you, Shevin. We spent a year and a half telling people on this channel that this fight was live. Do you not find it quite sickening now that the same people have been turning around for the last 2 years saying this is a fight that nobody's interested in? This is a fight that nobody wants to watch. This is a fight that's a foregone conclusion. This is a fight that was going to be boring to watch. Are the same people now who are jumping up and down and again changing the narrative and going hiding this morning?
You know, I realized as I was sitting there watching Wilder do his ring walk, which I liked his ring walk too. And Fury's was great. God, Fury's ring walk was great. Yeah, that was dope. And the crazy thing was, I'm sitting here watching this ring walk, and I say, dude, I realize Eddie Hearn has now said Wilder Fury 1, Wilder Fury 2, and Wilder Fury 3 would never happen. This man has said all 3 fights would not happen. And this is a person that people actually listen to in boxing media. I mean, it's just absolute madness. I mean, the environment, the fight itself, just massive. The only reason people perpetuate that narrative about people not caring about it is because their favorite fighter, Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte, has never been in large commercial fights in their careers. And they're
let me ask you, what do you think this does for Tyson Fury's profile in the States? I could be completely wrong, but I think it just makes him a bigger. And the ironic thing is, right, as well, in some ways, I don't know, my Twitter is not really working because I'm not logged on this account. I'll try and find it. But Max Kellerman has actually made a tweet. Max Kellerman said, and this is about Wilder, is it still possible to go down as a legend even though you got knocked up, beaten up and battered in a fight? And he's referring to Wilder. A lot of people are actually saying that Wilder's performance shows that, we'll talk about that in a second, but Fury in America, do you think now he's going to blow up and go to another level because of this, or do you think it'll just be the same level, or what? What do you think?
Well, if he stays the same or blows up a little bit more, I don't think he'll blow up more. I think the level he's at now is amazing. Fury is massive in America, but he's just as massive as Wilder because Wilder was carrying 1 million fans when he was fighting on Showtime. Now all those same fans watch and know who Fury is. So Fury, I don't think he can get more bigger in America simply because there's not another opponent that American casual fans know more than Deontay Wilder.
That's a great point. Yeah,
so he's massive now, but
there's no big American heavyweight for him to be matched up with. Yeah,
right. No, which is why this whole I know it's another conversation. I think Dillian Whyte's going to lose to Otto Wilder.
Oh no, we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about with Dillian in a sec. Yeah. Carry on, Chef. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that those. I'm very, very interested to see where Tyson Fury goes from here. Even if it's Usyk, because think about this. I'm saying right now. Tyson Fury versus Usyk. That fight,
live.
It's a great fight. No, it's a great fight for us. I was speaking commercially. That's a fight that doesn't sell any more than Fury versus Tom.
No,
Wilder. No one in America knows who the fuck Usyk is.
No.
So I'm just real curious because Fury's a big money fight, man. He's a superstar prize fighter. So going from here, I don't know what's next for him, man.
Let me guys in the comments, guys, keep your comments going. I will go through them all. Okay, I'm gonna catch up with them, but I will go through them all. I will display them on the screen and I will call them out. And if you've got questions for Shevin, you can ask him because he was there live at the fight. Here, Shevin, this will cheer you up. Remember this? Dillian Whyte would beat Deontay Wilder. The WBC spent 3 years trying to protect Deontay Wilder from Dillian Whyte. Can you fucking imagine what would happen tonight if you'd have put Dillian Whyte in the ring with that version of Deontay Wilder? Can you imagine that right hand going off Dillian Whyte's head? These people need to. Where is this stuff coming from, Shevin? I don't understand. Because what it is now is because Fury's won, right? All these people would be talking about toxicology reports and talking like they've been Columbo, yeah, talking like they're frigging Columbo. All these detectives in it, all these detectives and frigging pathologists are coming out talking about drinks being spiked and all sorts. But where are all them people saying that the WBC were protecting Deontay Wilder from Dillian Whyte? I think those people need to give their head a shake. There's no way Dillian Whyte, and like I said, there's no way Dillian Whyte would have survived, the distance with that Wilder from there's no way, Shevin.
Not to mention, people have to understand, Dillian Whyte is a much shorter fighter than Tyson Fury.
Exactly.
And Deontay Wilder. So that fight, it can still happen one day, but that fight ends pretty early and pretty nastily. I mean, Dillian Whyte's a good fighter, but he got knocked out by a 41-year-old Pavek in Eddie Hearn's backyard.
What did you think about why Wilder couldn't keep the tap? Do you know what, honest to God, if he'd have gone back to jabbing to the body and setting up to the body again, he started off right, he got hurt, he got tired as well, right?
He did.
But honestly, I still think he could have stuck to the game. Obviously, easy for me to say. I still think he could have stuck to the game plan a little bit more. And I think he'd have stuck to the game plan a little bit more. The problem with Wilder was, I think, I'm not making excuses. I don't think that was anywhere near the best Tyson Fury we saw tonight. I think tonight, to be honest, I think that was Wilder's chance to beat him. But what I will say is, to be honest, the way Wilder started the fight was tremendous. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I thought he could have kept that going, them jabs to the body himself. He went back in the end, right? Tyson Fury won this fight because he gambled, right? I think he knew he wasn't 100% in there, but I think he gambled on, look, at some point, I'm going to land on Wilder, yeah? And we'll talk about the technicalities of that in a second. So I want to talk to you about technical stuff in a second, right? He'll land on Wilder, right? And when he does, when I land on Wilder, he's going to revert back to what he always was. And I think that's the gamble that Fury made in the ring. And it paid off because, Wilder, when he got hurt, all the way through the second half of the fight, he was doing exactly what we were talking about not doing. He was telegraphing the right hand.
Yep,
does that thing where loading up. And then what he does as well, which is so sad to see because he's so much better than that, yeah? Is when he's about to throw the right hand, he brings his front foot all the way out and he opens and he brings his jab hand out. You know what I mean? Yep. So he brings that front foot right out and he brings that jab hand out and he cocks back his right. And Fury, even though Fury can see it coming, a couple of times Wilder was actually still hitting him with it, by the way, still clocking him with it, even though you see it coming. But if Wilder just disguised his shots a bit better, in that first round, when he was disguising the shots, jabbing to the body, setting up to the body, he looked a completely different fighter. And I thought if he could have just stuck to the game plan a bit more, he could have landed that shot. Because I honestly think, like I said, look, not giving Fury credit, Fury is just a better man. And that's been proven. But I think that Wilder could have, Wilder was one shot away from becoming champion. Fury deserved to win the fight. Fury beat him up, to be honest. And we have to be real about that, yeah? Fury pretty much dominated him in the rounds where he wasn't hurt, beat him up. And beat him up bad. And we'll talk about whether the towel should have been thrown in. But to flip the script, Wilder was one punch away from becoming heavyweight champion of the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, the end of that 8th round, man, he was one shot. He was also 20. That last 20 seconds, that 8th round, he landed on the inside, which was amazing because Wilder doesn't fight. He can't fight on the inside very well. But he landed that shot on the inside in that 8th round, and that was it. I said, Fury goes down because Fury was tired as well. And the shape condition Fury was in. I said, if he goes down, he's not getting back up. So, yeah, it was real close. Well, question for you, man. I was wondering this the entire fight. And maybe it was because he was afraid of that overhand right from Fury. Why do you think Wilder was not throwing the left hook at all?
Left hook? I don't no, Wilder's actually got a decent left hook.
He does.
I don't know how he would use it against Fury from that, because Fury, the whole point what Fury was supposed to do and what he didn't do is he's supposed to put pressure on, but put pressure on with distance. So he's got the longer reach than Wilder. Put the pressure on, get Wilder at the end of the jab, but obviously because he's got the longer hands, do you know what I mean? Because he's got Wilder at the end of his punches, he's still giving himself that room and that space. So I'm not sure if Wilder ever really had. I'll tell you one thing that cost Wilder this fight. Technically, right? I knew going into this fight, if Wilder was going to lose, it was going to be down to 2 shots. I didn't say anything because I didn't want him to win the fight. So, but I'll tell you now, what's costing Deontay Wilder is 2 things. He holds his lead hand out. Tyson Fury, if you look at all 3 fights, what's the money punch that he has landed in all 3 fights? It's been the simple 1-2 over the top. That's been the downfall of Wilder in all the fights. All 3 fights, it's been that 1-2 over Wilder's lead left. Because if you look at Wilder's jab hand, he holds it out, he leaves it out there, and he drops it after he punches. And Fury pressures him, right? Fury just does a small step to his right, and then he fires that 1-2 over the top every single fucking time. If you look at the second fight, that was the combination that ended him in the second fight. Constantly throwing the 1-2 over the top, And I watched Wilder doing that power whip with Malik Scott. And actually, to be honest, I was actually tempted to get it up, but I'm a bit arsy about. But if you watch that power whip with Malik Scott, and you watch Wilder, will do a combination on the pads. Yeah, he'll do a combination on the pads, and then he'll either leave his fucking lead hand out. He'll hold his lead hand out to measure the distance, yeah, or he'll just drop his lead hand to his hip. And Fury all day gambled on the 1-2. If Wilder could have stopped him landing the 1-2, it would have been a different fight. That 1-2 over the top got him every single time. And the second shot that was going to do Wilder was always going to be the uppercut, because if you look at that footage with Kellerman, Wilder's not a great fighter on the inside, and when he was throwing them body shots and working, his chin was so far over his front foot. And it was only a matter of time before Fury was going to bring the uppercut in, and he did that, and he ended the fight. Sorry, I didn't answer your question there, but sorry about that.
No, you're pretty cool. And I'm about to dip out, go jump on these doom buggies and drown my sorrows and some fun for the day. Before I go, I want to get my 2 cents on I guess what's next for Wilder real quick.
Say what you want. It's your channel. Say what you want.
So what's next for him? Listen, if you're gonna keep fighting, which I'm assuming he will, there's some massive fights out there for him. Primarily the Andy Ruiz fight. That fight will be massive here in the States. It's just a question of, does he take a fight with a guy like Adam Kownacki as like a comeback fight for promotional reasons to get a knockout on his record before the Ruiz fight, opposed to having that fight coming off a loss? So that's the only question. He'll take a Kownacki or Helenius before Andy Ruiz fight, or he'll go straight to Andy Ruiz fight. Both fights are really big for him. He can win both those fights and legit be right back in contention for a mandatory for one of those belts, or Charles Martin as well. So he has 3 big fights he can still make, and he'll make big money off of if he wants to keep fighting.
So let me just say, he's got to fight. Listen, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, if you're listening, which you're not because you've got better things to do, please do right by the British public, right? It's bad enough that AJ's holding up the division with these constant rematches. And next time you're on, Shevin, we'll talk about Rematch Room and these flipping constant rematches that are going on, innit? It seems every time a Matchroom fighter gets beat now, there's like fucking 10 rematches. You can't seem to get away. So not only are they holding up Undisputed, right, by doing all this ridiculous rematch stuff, right? But let me just say, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, do the right thing, make Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder.
Yes.
The fight will be 4 years late, right? Barry Hearn sat next to his fishing pond, yeah, on IFL TV and said, we're not getting the fight till 2022. Well, guess what, Bazza? In a couple of months' time, it's 2022. Shevin, innit? It's not going to happen, but do you think Wilder would take that fight? I think he takes that fight. Would you?
Absolutely. Because the reality is, it just depends on if AJ loses to Usyk again. It's kind of like, does Matchroom start this whole rebuild for AJ? Because that's going to take time. Or do they just send him right in there with Wilder, which both guys will kind of be in a rebuilding phase. The winner can still go on and be a top heavyweight. The loser is finished, and they can sell that. So I would love to see Matchroom do that. Will they do it? Of course not. They're going to try and put freaking Wilder in the ring with Dillian Whyte, which I actually pray and hope. I want Dillian Whyte to win the Helenius, not Helenius, Yeah, Wilder fight not the Wilder fight now. I want to win it so bad.
The gunman.
I want him to win that fight so bad, so they can be forced somehow to put him in the ring with Deontay Wilder. But yeah, that fight with AJ and Wilder would be a great fight. Would Matchroom do it? If it's after another Usyk loss, I doubt it because Usyk lost. What was it? Ruiz lost. Usyk lost. Wilder lost. It's over. And then
just before you go, what's your sense on Fury? Do you think Fury's on the decline and that we've seen the best of him now?
I'll put it this way. If he's not in the ring with Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, then yes. Because those are the only two guys I think he can get up for.
What about the can man? What about the tomato can man?
Well, the can man, listen, the reality is this fight, this win actually proves what Matchroom's been saying for some time, that Dillian Whyte is legitimately probably if he's not the best heavyweight in the world, he's definitely the second best heavyweight in the world. We all know
Dillian Whyte is the best
heavyweight. Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Let me tell you, I'm about to call the RSPCA and we start doing some posters of please conserve the life of Dillian Whyte. Please don't let Dillian Whyte get in the ring with fucking Deontay Wilder. And any fan, let me just say this now. Any fan of Dillian Whyte who wants him to get in the ring with Deontay Wilder after seeing that last night and after seeing Dillian Whyte and Povetkin, please give your head a shake, yeah? Dillian's a nice guy. He's a good guy. Don't wish some punishment on Dillian like that. Wishing Dillian to get in the ring. These guys, man, let me butt in and ask you one more thing. Sorry, I know I'm being an arsehole. Let me ask you something about. I want to ask you in case I forget. By the way, 335 in the chat. I really am humbled and I appreciate you all coming and listening to us. I was an arsehole at 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm trying to be on my best behavior. I'm a changed man. Please subscribe. Please like. This is the realest boxing content that you'll hear anywhere. And let me just say, Shevin, I think Ring Magazine, and I think they might do this because Ring Magazine have shown that they're quite brave with some of their rankings. I think Ring Magazine should do the right thing. Deontay Wilder should be installed as number 3 in the ratings. Fury is the champ. So Fury is the champion. Usyk is the number 1. Deontay Wilder should be number 2 in the Ring Magazine rankings. He's lost to one man. And he fought the best. He fought the guy who is right now the best in his division. He fought him 3 times. If you look at the fights Wilder's had, yeah, he's fought, his last 6 fights? Who has he fought? Fury 3 times, Ortiz twice, and Brazil once.
Right.
Sorry. He has to be, and he's only ever lost to one man. He's fought Fury 3 times. Ortiz twice and Brazil in his last 6 fights. And he's got to be number 2. Ring Magazine need to make him the number 2 after Usyk, in my opinion.
Matchroom FC will crap on his resume. However, when they start listing AJ's resume, they make sure they list Charles Martin and Dominic Brazil.
Well, exactly, yeah. I mean, final word about Mark Breeland. Can you see? I don't know if you can see the screen. Yeah. Mark Breeland's just released a post. Shevin, listen, I know you are a big Wilder fan. You were never one of those Wilder fans that started talking about, blah, 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 blah. I feel so sorry for this man, Mark Breeland, I really do. And I just think Deontay Wilder, like I said, do you still think he's got the right people around? I'm giving Malik Scott a pass because I think Wilder looked brilliant for them first 1 to 2 rounds. So I'm giving Malik Scott a pass. But can I just be honest with you and say, hand on heart, Shevin, do you still think Wilder's got the right people around him? Because to be honest, it doesn't seem like Wilder's head's in the right place, really. And he needs to apologize to Mark Breeland. What do you think about that, in my opinion? 400 in the chat. For me, Deontay Wilder needs to apologize, man up, take your L, and apologize to Mark Breeland because what he done was out of order. What do you think, Chef?
Yeah, of course I agree with what you're saying about Mark Breeland. Will he do that publicly? I don't think so. But like you said, me and you both know privately, based on what Fury said in the press conference and the way Wilder was reacting, he knows deep down that was BS. So that's something that probably have to come maybe a few years down the road when his pride is more swallowed. As far as the right people around him, I like Malik Scott as his trainer. I really do, because I think Malik Scott knows that stuff was BS. What he may have to do, which I like his strength and conditioning coach. He might want to take a look at that, just because that his strength and conditioning has been an issue for a few fights now. And I know that the guy knows what he's doing. He's an Olympic coach, but with his weight being put on and the way he was able to carry his weight for the past few fights hasn't worked out for him. So that would be somewhere he might look to change.
Let me tell you, honestly, that strength for conditioning, again, Fury gambled on that tonight. He gambled on that. He gambled on Wilder's legs are going to go if I lean on him. Wilder's legs are going to go if I push him back. And I'll tell you what, like I said before, Fury, in my opinion, I wouldn't say got lucky, but the gods were smiling down on him. Shevin, any final thoughts? You got to dash off? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, man.
You can stay for as long as you want. You haven't got to go, but it's just saying, stay for as long as you want.
No, I got some 4-wheelers waiting for me.
Okay.
So I'm about to head out to the desert. But final thoughts, man. Amazing fight, great fight. And to my shock and surprise, man, a lot of these crazy Deontay Wilder fans have actually been behaving with a lot of respect today, giving Fury credit, not claiming conspiracies, any of that kind of nonsense. So it's really good to wake up to that. And I remind people, Muhammad Ali lost 6 times. Mike Tyson lost 6 times. They're heavyweights. They're all going to lose if they keep fighting. That doesn't take away from their greatness. Last night was a great fight, great warrior, and a great night. Relish in that, love boxing, move on, and don't put too much attention into these freaking millionaire athletes because they have great lives. And if you don't get yourself so emotionally invested, you too can have a great life. Shevin, signing off, bird hunting.
That's Shevin, he's out. You know what he's going to go and do now. Jesus Christ. Lord save all these big booty, you-know-whats that are currently out around Vegas because Shevin's going to be out on the leash. Right, he's out. Right, let's go through your heavyweight rankings then. 432. I'm sure there'll be, the numbers will drop. But let's go through these heavyweight rankings. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm right? I think that Deontay Wilder should be elevated by Ring Magazine to be the number 2, right? So what I would say is Fury's the champion, Usyk the number 1. I would have Wilder as the number 2 and Anthony Joshua as the number 3. That's my opinion. But if you disagree, I'm fine with that. But what do you think? I just think, look, Anthony Joshua's lost to 2 people and he got buzzed up by a cruiserweight. Deontay Wilder's only ever lost to 1 man, and the 1 man he's lost to arguably might be the best fighter of his generation. And Wilder put him down 4 times in 3 fights. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I can see a case for that. And it wouldn't surprise me if Ring Magazine do that, you know. It wouldn't surprise me if Ring Magazine do that. Let's go through some of your rankings. Dawson has got Fury at 1, Usyk at 2, Joshua at 3, Whyte above Wilder. What the? Dawson, can you explain to me in the chat, what the hell has Dillian Whyte done to be above Deontay Wilder in these rankings? Deontay Wilder is lost to 1 man. He's lost to 1 man and he's put that man down 4 times. I don't understand that, but it's your opinion. I'm all cool with it. But Whyte above Wilder? I don't think so. I think, like I said, these Dillian Whyte fans, listen, some of these Dillian Whyte fans, look, we don't mind Dillian Whyte, but I'm saying, got to be a bit more realistic in my opinion. Marco says this Wilder is number 2 in the world. I still think Usyk has got a bad style for Wilder. I think Usyk's not the kind of fighter you want to get tired against because it's not going to hit him very well. So for me, I would say Usyk's definitely is the number 2 in my opinion. But Wilder last night could have been any heavyweight in the world last night. Let's have a look. Marco says Fury 1, Wilder 2, Usyk 3, Joyce 4, AJ 5. Nah, you can't put. There's no way on this planet I would ever put Anthony Joshua could lose every single fight from now until the next millennium. I still ain't never going to put Joe Joyce over Anthony Joshua. Never. Never will you ever hear me put Joe Joyce over Anthony Joshua in any list ever. You'll never hear that happen. You'll never hear that happen. Tin, big up Tin. Fury at 1, Usyk at 2, 3 AJ, 4 Wilder, 5 Whyte. Well, at least you listen. Who are these people who've got the can man above Wilder? I want to hear the logic for that. Let me scroll down in the comments. What is the logic, quickly, for putting Dillian Whyte above Deontay Wilder after the performance of Wilder last night? I don't understand that. If you look at what happened when Dillian fought Povetkin, and then you look at what Wilder did to Fury last night, there's no way. Fury and Whyte and Wilder get in the ring. And if Wilder's 100%, there's only one outcome in that fight. There's only one outcome. Let's carry on going through here. Martin Butler. Fury at 1, Usyk at 2, Wilder at 3, Joyce at 4. What the hell? How are you guys putting Joe Joyce in above Anthony Joshua? Are you guys nuts? Joe Joyce above Anthony Joshua. We need to start handing out some bands out here. Where the mods at? Get started handing out some bands, man. Anthony Joshua behind Joe Joyce. No, brother. Gaddafi Khan says Fury 1, Usyk 2, 3 Joshua, 4 Wilder. That's fair enough. George C. There's so many comments here. We've got like 400 people in here. for over 400 people. Fury won. Right, Usyk and Wilder. Right, okay. The amount of people that have got Joy Joyce in this top 5. Are you mad? I don't know about Joy Joyce, you know. Let's have a look. Anyway, let's get on to some more stuff, yeah? Now, we're not going to talk about... yeah, I'm joking about the instant bans, but yeah, let me tell you. We're going to talk about the undercards tomorrow. I've sent a message to Troy Williamson asking him if he wants to come on tomorrow's show. Let me just get my phone. 1 sec. Sorry about that. Just grabbing my phone. I messaged Troy Williamson asking him if the Trojan wants to come on tomorrow and explain the secrets of how to do it. Yeah, Mickey Hediot was going to come back as well. Sorry, I'm just checking my messages on my phone. Right. What's next? Let's talk about this fight. Fury versus Whyte. Does any living, breathing mammal give Dillian Whyte a chance against Tyson Fury? Does anybody? Does any living, breathing mammal give Dillian Whyte a chance against Tyson Fury? Heavyweight boxing, right? One punch, anything can happen. But short of a puncher's chance, does anybody give Dillian Whyte anything else than a puncher's chance against Tyson Fury? For me, that's not a good match for him. I'm just being real. Like style, I'm talking about styles. I'm just saying, like style-wise, to me, that doesn't look like a good match for Dillian Whyte to me. Flizzy says White's got this left hook. Yeah, this magical left hook. Yeah, we're gonna see if he can land this magical left hook against the 6'9", 200-pound man who's gonna be jabbing him over that jab. You know, MJ Cracker says no chance for Whyte. Joe says unless Fury starts on the nose beers. I mean, I'm not trying to be hate on Dillian Whyte. Yeah, guys. By the way, can I just be real? We've got 400 in here. Yeah, 400 in here and 53 likes. Do you know what? To be honest, at this point, yeah. 400 people in the chat and 54 likes. I should really retire from YouTube. Like that's such a disgusting ratio that at this point I should retire from YouTube. Like the doctor should be coming in the ring like he came in the ring for Deontay Wilder last night, and he should be checking me over and he should be saying, "Ultra, do you want to continue?" Because that is disrespectful to me and that's disrespectful to my ancestors. Do you know that? So if we can please hit the like button, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Because that's outrageous. That is outrageous. Let's have a look here. Crazy D3 says, let me just hold on before we go. Dawson, he's talking about resume. Who has Wilder beat? His best win is Ortiz. You need to go away and go and listen to another channel because on this channel we talk boxing and resumes do not win fights. Oh my gosh. Resumes do not win fights. They don't win fights. Oh my God. Who is Wilder's best win? That's not who wins boxing matches. Who was Usyk's best win? Usyk's best win at heavyweight was Derek Chisora. Usyk fought a used car salesman and then he struggled against Derek Chisora. And then he went on to nearly knock out Anthony Joshua in the last round. So what the fuck? What is all this talk about resume? Stop talking about resume. Oh my gosh. Please stop. Listen, please, I'm begging you guys, yeah? Put on some gloves and go to a gym and actually try boxing and actually learn about the sport. Get punched, take a punch. Get punched and take a punch. Learn about the sports. Please, I'm not being rude. I'm just asking you guys from the bottom of my heart. Please stop looking at BoxRec. Please, you can't predict fights off BoxRec. Who had Usyk beaten? He went in there and he absolutely wiped Anthony Joshua's backside for 12 rounds straight. So what are we talking about resume and best wins? This isn't top trumps. No disrespect. I'm not trying to be rude, but this is not top trumps. This is not Pokemon. Oh, I've got Charizard. I've got Charizard. He's got Charizard to level 90. Oh, I've got Blastoise. These guys think it's Pokemon. These guys think boxing's like Pokemon. It's bizarre. Oh, I've got Blastoise. He's got a 99 Water Blast. Oh, that beats your Charizard. Mate, come on. Come on, man. I'm just saying. Arsenal says, oi, them used car salesmen can be aggressive when they don't hit their monthly commission targets. Oh my God. Usyk literally fought a man on 2 weeks' notice off a used car lot. And let me tell you about Usyk. Usyk was getting hit by this man. Chaz Witherspoon walked off a used car lot and started hitting Usyk with clean right hands. Anthony Joshua got him with Alexander Usyk. And Anthony Joshua struggled to hit him for freaking 12 rounds. So please stop this talk about resume. Oh my gosh. Let's have a look. So, have a look here. Yeah. Vinyl Pugilist says box rec triangle theory is how bookies set odds. It's so embarrassing. Please stop with this nonsense about resumes. It's embarrassing. Listen, I said before, I'm not being rude. I'm going to say it really respectfully. Yeah. Even though with 400 people in the chat and 83 likes, I shouldn't be respectful at all. But I'm going to say it now. Instead of talking about resumes all the time, touch up your own resume. Seriously, touch up your own resume. Stop going on box rec. I'm begging you guys. Right, let's go through her. Jack Donahue says, how highly do you rate Wilder's chin? Very highly. Because he's gone out on his feet. He's gone out, well, sorry, he didn't go out on his feet in the last knockdown tonight, but he's gone out on his shield. He took too much punishment. Do you guys think Wilder that fight should have been stopped earlier? My fear is, and this is what I wanted to say. If you look at the screen, you can see a tweet from Michael Benson, yeah, the journalist choice. Deontay Wilder's trainer, Malik Scott, has asked how Wilder is after the Fury KO. He says he's good. Everything was cool. He's got a busted lip. He broke his hand, but life goes on. Let me tell you something. I honestly, I was so worried, about Deontay Wilder after that fight because he's taken 2 big beatings. To be honest, for me, that towel should have been thrown in a way ago. But this is a man who keeps telling people he wants to die in the ring. It's dangerous, isn't it? Now, listen, he runs a dangerous camp, Deontay Wilder. He literally runs a camp where he says, I want to die in the ring. And if you pull me out of a fight, you'll never, ever train me or work with me again. That's a pretty hard gig, isn't it? Can you imagine that? Watching Deontay Wilder take all those thudding punches and being knocked around the place, fatigued out of his mind, knowing that, if I do the right thing and save this guy from himself and throw the towel in, I'm not going to be able to feed my kids tomorrow. Wilder's dangerous, man. He's a dangerous guy to himself. I don't believe in any of that chat. I think, to be honest, all this chat about going out on your shield is nonsense. Listen, here's my chat. Brain cells. Preserve your brain cells. Preserve your brain cells. That's all I'm saying. Preserve your brain cells, because the reality is, and I told this to Shevin, Shevin's quite upset because obviously Shevin's a big fan of Wilder. I said, Shevin, I said, don't get upset. Everybody will forget about this Fury and Wilder thing on Thursday. I guarantee you, this Thursday, everybody would have pretty much forgotten about Wilder and Fury and will be moving on to the next. That's what happens in boxing. We give people credit for about 2 seconds. Somebody wins. They run around. They call people cowards, duckers. He's scared. He's tampering with gloves. He's spiking people's drinks. He's doing all this stuff, right? And then when they get proven wrong, they disappear for 2 days, come back on a Thursday, everybody forgets about it, and we go around to the next cycle. So look, and my point is, come Thursday, Friday, right? Come Thursday, Friday, no one's going to be talking about Deontay Wilder as a fucking true warrior. Don't worry about it. So for me personally, Wilder should have saved his brain cells because that was brutal. I mean, the stuff he took there was brutal. And I really, truly hope he's okay and suffered no lasting damage, because that got really uncomfortable to watch because he was so fatigued. That's the real problem. He was so fatigued by it all. And taking shots on the temple and on the side of the head like that, it was really, really bad. Right. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to go on for. We're going for a little bit longer. If anybody wants to call in, drop me a comment in the chat. I'm only going to allow people on who I know, obviously. I'm not going to allow Mickey Mouse people on. 400 people, 87 likes. I think it's probably going to be the last. Well, it's just, I think my performance on YouTube tonight is worse than Deontay Wilder's. 400 views, 400 people in the chat, 88 likes. I think, like I said before, I've had a worse night than Wilder. TMT says, where are Artman and Wizard Sleeve? These bros have disappeared. To be fair to Artman has not disappeared. He's owned up on the loss. So I'm not going to pile in on him. But, I think, look, listen, I disagree with Chevron on one thing, right? I disagree with Chevron on one thing. He said, "Oh, the Wilder fans have woken up this morning, and they've been giving Fury props and they've been giving Fury credit." And yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I don't give a shit because they've been spending the last fucking 2 months, right? 2 months. They've been basically spent the last 2 years caught accusing somebody of having illegal hand wraps, of spiking someone's drink. I mean, it's embarrassing. It really is so embarrassing what they and they've owned up to the loss. If they've got anything about them, let me tell you on it right now. I'm going to be real with you. If those individuals have got any heart or soul about them, they'll make a video and apologize to Mark Breeland because they are full of bullshit. They're full of bullshit. Deontay Wilder knew when he, and this is what I was going to say, guys, and I'm sorry for rambling on. I'll ramble on for a little bit longer. Huh? I apologize for rambling on. Last North says, I dislike to report the channel. Well, there you go. That's what it is. That's how we work, isn't it? If we don't like something, we don't just stop watching, of course. What was I going to say? I just think that the comments towards Mark Breeland, he needs an apology. And he needs an apology from somebody, in my opinion. Mark Breeland needs an apology from somebody. And it's outrageous. Sorry, I'm still caught up about that because can I be honest with you? And this is what I wanted to say. If Deontay Wilder won that fight by KO last night, do you think that these individuals would have come out and given Fury any credit? Or do you think these individuals would have stopped making his accusations? They would have doubled down on them. Am I right or am I wrong? They're only being humbled because Wilder got knocked out. Am I right or am I wrong about that? They're only being humbled because Wilder got knocked out. If he'd have won last night, then he'd be coming on here going, that proves that Fury cheated in the first and the second fights. And that proved that Mark Breeland spiked his water and all this fucking stuff. That's what they would have said. That's what they would have said. So I'm right, aren't I? Yeah. MJ Cracker says you're right. Yeah. They're only being humble because their guy lost. If their guy won, do you think they'd be humble? We'd be seeing a million views this morning saying, "Oh, we're glad about Fury and this and that." And you see a bunch of guys saying, "Oh, we had guys come on this channel saying they hope Fury dies in the ring." It's not right, is it? It's not right. It's not right at all. Let's have a go through. Ashin Praiser says, can never have respect for Wilder. Let's not forget he only took this fight thinking Fury was fucked and had no chance. I disagree with that. 3-0. It wasn't 3-0. He drew the first one. Glad it finished with him on the floor. That's fair enough. But I think Wilder fought like a champion. Anybody else last night, other than Usyk, I think give Usyk the benefit of the doubt. Anybody not named Usyk and Fury, Wilder's the heavyweight champion of the world. 100%. 100%. D Martin, I can't read that. Is that true? No, I can't read that out just in case. So I'm just going get your comments in. We'll finish off with your comments. Any comments you've got about the fight, get them in. Michael Hunter for me has a chance. Yeah, right. You really think Michael Hunter has a chance? I'm not sure about that. We'll see. He already got beat up by Usyk at heavy. So I ain't sure about that. But we'll see. Maybe. I've been wrong loads of times. In fact, I'm wrong quite often on this channel. Let's go through these comments. Get your comments in now and I'll read them out. Nestface says, Breeland saved Wilder and got him the third fight. Do you know what? Honestly, if we found out, right, and I'm saying, can you imagine if we found out something like Deontay Wilder is being taken to the hospital and, he's not responding, or Deontay Wilder passed out and fell into a coma or something like that, right? Do you think all these dudes talking about, oh, he went out on his shield, he just wanted to go out on his shield, is all he wanted? Do you think they would change their tune? I'm just being real, innit? Do you think they would change their tune? It's a very, very fine line, isn't it? Oh, yeah, Wilder just wanted to go out on his shield. He just wanted to go out the right way. What if he'd have never woken up? What if he'd have gone to the dressing room and then he collapsed and ended up like Joel McLennan? That could have happened, Boxing's a dangerous sport. He's taking too much unnecessary punishment in the ring. These fans, right, and Deontay Wilder's got enough money to last him for the rest of his life, but these fans won't pay your medical bills. These fans won't pay his medical bills. Not even these LDBC fans who proclaim to love him so much. They wouldn't put up their own money to pay his medical bills. Look after yourself first. Look after yourself first. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Don't worry about all this. I need to go out on my shield like a warrior so that people don't call me a quitter. Because when you're in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, or when you're in a coma and you can't wake up, or when you end up like somebody like a Pritchard Colon or somebody like that, go and look at videos of Pritchard Colon and then come back to me and talk to me about going out on your shield. It's not worth it, especially when you've got a family, especially when you've got a wife, especially when you've got a child. Come on, man. We need to start getting away from this in the sport of boxing. You know? And that's a real worry for Wilder, that he's got people in his corner who are scared to throw the towel in. That's not right. That decision should be down to the trainer. If you hire me as a trainer, or if you hire someone as a trainer, the trainer can see the fight. You can't see the fight from the outside. The trainer can see the fight from the outside. He has the right to pull the towel. And that's, I think, sorry, I have to say, I think that's such a dangerous setup that Wilder's got in that corner, where you're the trainer of the guy, but you know there's no way you can throw the towel in. Man, I tell you what, thank fuck Wilder's safe, you know, because if he'd have taken any more punishment, I don't know what Malik Scott would have had to do. Malik Scott would have pretty much had to end how many years of friendship? Malik Scott would have probably had to end a decade plus friendship to save his life. It's crazy, isn't it? Daves and Dave says, oh, Michael the Emperor. No, not on this channel, but I've got a lot of respect for him. Davis and Dave says, you throw the towel in Wilder's corner, you get your name dragged through the mud. Yeah, it's a big problem, isn't it? It's a big problem, isn't it? You're sitting in there and you're watching him out on his feet, taking shots to the temple. And you know, if you throw the towel in, you know that you're going to be like, your name's going to get dragged through absolute hell on social media. You're going to be called a traitor. You're going to be accused of, you know, traitor to your race and all this kind of stuff. It's not right, man. Really dodgy. Breast fan says, Whyte is mandatory for Fury now. I think that fight will go similar to how Chisora Fury 2 went. The only fight I want to see is AJ and Wilder. That's the fight. I'm not interested in Whyte and Fury, to be honest. I'm not even sure if Tyson Fury is interested in Dillian Whyte, to be honest. I'm not even sure if he could get up for that fight, to be honest. You know, I'm not even sure if he could get up for that fight. It's not a big fight, and it's not a big fight in America. It's a big fight in the UK, yes, but it's not a big fight in America. Oh, James Doherty says that Cuban heavyweight Sanchez could beat most of the top guys at heavyweight. Guys, I'll tell you, before we go, if anybody wants to ask any questions about the card last night, I haven't watched it, but if anybody's got any comments on last night's card, go for it. I'll quickly go through them and I'll read them out. I didn't watch last night's card, so we'll see. I didn't watch last night's card, but I'm hoping that maybe Riku will be coming on and we can discuss it. But if anybody has that, it is what it is. I'm just going through here. Joe says Malik Scott might have had to let his friend die to prove his love for his brother. The doctor was coming in and checking Wilder. It looked bad, didn't it? The doctor was coming in and checking him. It looked bad. It looked real bad. And I was thinking, look, let's, you know, but it is what it is, you know. As long as he's safe, it is what it is. Troy B says Wilder just doesn't understand how Fury can take his shots. Nobody else can take his punches. It totally confuses him. Well, no, the key is that Fury, the key thing is this, right? Fury tires him out before he gets, if you look at Fury made it into the fourth. If Wilder had landed that shot on him in round 1 or round 2, fight probably would have been over. The problem is that when Wilder is not hurting people, he's losing rounds. He's always behind in a fight. And that's the problem, pretty much, you know. That's been a story of Deontay Wilder's whole career. When he's not hurting people and he hasn't got people on the floor, he's behind in the fight. And other than the first round, Fury started to catch up to him. And the problem with him is when he's got 277 pounds leaning all over him, putting him in headlocks, leaning on top of his body and throwing body shots on him, he just gets sapped so quickly. And he was sapped going into the fourth. I mean, I thought he was on his way out. Going into the fourth round, I thought he's going to be out of there pretty soon. And then he pulled that punch out. So, like I said before, I think the key to Fury being able to take Wilder's punches is that Fury is able to take some gas out of him before the shots land. That's what I think. If you look at when Fury first got knocked down by Wilder, he'd already fucking peppered him with the jab for 7 rounds in the first fight. In the second fight, he never got put down at all. In the first fight, he got put down in the last round. You see what I'm saying? When Fury's getting caught with these shots, he's getting caught with them, but Wilder's having to take some punishment first. And that's the key. That's the key. And that's the key to those knockdowns. Wilder took punishment before he got that first knockdown. If he was fresh as a daisy, could have been a completely different fight. I didn't see Jared Anderson, but I need to have a look. I think he's highly rated. I saw a bit of Frank Sanchez. Looks very, very skilled. I was going to start talking about Luis Ortiz, but Luis Ortiz doesn't really move like that or have that kind of upper body movement. I think he's a lot slicker than Luis Ortiz. So my first time seeing Frank Sanchez, he looks like a very, very tidy fighter indeed. Very, very bit small. I could be wrong on that. He looks a bit small to me. I could be wrong, but very, very tidy fighter indeed. LOE Mark says, I think this current AJ at best would have put in an identical performance to the Pulev fight if he fought. What's it say? I think this current AJ at best would have put in an identical performance to the Pulev fight if he fought Charles Martin for that IBF strap. He needs to rebuild. Wilder doesn't. I would make Anthony Joshua the favorite to beat Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder's come off 2 very, very bad beatings. But I'll be honest with you, if Anthony Joshua gets hit with a right hand like what Fury got hit with tonight, that's the end of the fight. Simple as that. But then again, Anthony Joshua, to flip the script, is a far better finisher than Tyson Fury is. Tyson Fury ain't the greatest finisher in the world. And we have to be honest about that. I looked at Eddie Chambers' Twitter, and Eddie Chambers was saying this, the same thing. Fury was smothering his own work a lot tonight. It made that so much more difficult for himself than it had to be. Really smothered his own work. And really, he struggled to get rid of Wilder in that second fight as well. The thing about Anthony Joshua is, Anthony Joshua's got a lot of flaws, but once he gets you going, he normally does close out, you know. Anthony Joshua's a great closer. That's one thing you can never take away from Anthony Joshua. He is a great closer. And when he gets a guy hurt, he gets guys out of there. Or he really does seal the deal, you know, Anthony Joshua. So that's the one thing I would say. Fury, I don't see Fury as a great finisher at all. Right. I think I'll give it 2 more minutes. Any final comments? Last 2 minutes. Anybody want to get off anything off their chest? Hellenius is the WBA mandatory, is he? Which version of the WBA is that? The regular, the super regular, the interim, the semi-interim, the what is he mandatory for? They got about 15 belts in the WBA. Just give Hellenius one of these titles and let him call himself a world champion. End of story. Oh, Abdul. Is that you, Abdul? Abdul, if you want to come on, I've got a few minutes. Shoot me an email and I'll quickly get you on if you want to come on, Abdul. We'll finish on our... Yeah, okay. Abdul, shoot me an email and I'll get you on quickly. Shoot me an email. I'm out on my feet here. I'm like Deontay Wilder. I'm like Deontay Wilder in round 4. I'm absolutely out on my feet. And it looks like the end is coming. But if Abdul wants to make a very, very quick appearance, then I will oblige. So send me the link, yeah? And come on in. So we're going to hear from Abdul. Let's have a look here. What do you guys think about all these rematches going on at Matchroom? How do you think Eddie Hearn's feeling about the fight? How do you think Eddie Hearn's feeling right now? I told people, you know, the decision to not have AJ be a big star or to really make a name for him in America was just fucked up. That was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. And like I said before, for me, it was a big mistake there. And serious question marks need to be asked there about Anthony Joshua and the way he's been managed. Serious question marks. Samuel Harrison says, will there be a rematch clause for Wilding versus Whyte? Yes, there will be. That's been confirmed because it's rematch room. So yes, there will be a rematch clause as ever. Sunny Singh, I have had a couple of hours sleep, but I'm not right at all. I need to really get away from doing this kind of stuff for a bit. Yeah, well, what do you guys think about the Shannon Courtney thing from last night? And listen, Davis and Dave says Frank Warren yet again pulls off fight of the year. Well, look, I mean, Fury made himself a star. Fury's a once in a lifetime fighter in terms of personality. He's a once in a lifetime fighter. He's turning into a true crossover star, especially Fury is turning into a true crossover star, right? Abdul, you haven't sent me the. Oh, you have. Okay, right. Let me just hold on. Let me just get Abdul the link. 1 second. Does anybody else want to come on? If you want to come on, drop me a message in the chat and we'll get you on. Abdul's been sent the link. If you guys want to come on, you can come on. But it's like, I have to know who you are, obviously, because there's too many lunatics out there. Let's have a look here. And let me just say quickly before we get Abdul on as well. This whole DAZN and BT Sport thing, this is fucking bizarre, isn't it? Because at one point, it's like we're saying this is the end of Frank Warren, right? Because DAZN are going to buy BT Sports, take over, and it's going to be all Matchroom. But on the other half, if you look at what's going on, David Avanesian just signed for Frank Warren overnight. Caleb Plant versus Canelo was on BT Sport. So Canelo ain't even fighting on DAZN. How embarrassing is that if you're DAZN and if you're DAZN and Matchroom? That Canelo Alvarez isn't even fighting on DAZN in the UK or in the US. That's embarrassing. So I don't know what's going on. We'll have to wait and see with that. That's hilarious, isn't it? Matchroom have got him down. Matchroom have got Canelo Alvarez down as a Matchroom fighter on their website. But Canelo Alvarez isn't fighting on DAZN in the UK or in the US. That is absolutely bizarre. Something's going on in the sport of boxing in a minute. I'm not convinced about this Boxer deal with Sky. A few people are saying that. A few people are thinking that there's something's going to happen with that Boxer deal. That Boxer are messing things up at Sky. Maybe there's a spot for Frank Warren at Sky, you know, because that whole Sky boxing contract doesn't look like things are going to plan at all. Let's have a look. And by the way, I paid £25 for pay-per-view. But it was worth it because, again, you got to say, right, I paid £25 for the second fight and £25 for the third fight. They were both great fights. Abdul, you coming on or what? The only reason I'm still on, Abdul, was waiting for you. Literally the only reason I'm still here. If it wasn't for you, Abdul, I'd be gone. Ah, here he is. He's here. All right, let me get this on. Hold on one sec. All right, Abdul, give me a sound check.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, Abdul. Can anybody hear Abdul in the chat? I can't hear him.
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
Abdul, we can't hear you. Make sure your mic's sorted out. I don't know if StreamYard has settings for... well, I can hear something. Hold on.
Hello?
Abdul?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, you guys can hear him. Oh, I can't hear... What the fuck? Oh, hold on. Right, let me sort out my sound. 1 second. What the hell? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me check my audio. Yeah. Hold on. Right, hold on. Give me a sec. There's a problem with my effing speakers. StreamYard, just give me 3 seconds, Abdul. Sorry. StreamYard is not playing through my effing speakers. High definition, high definition. Yeah, what's the problem? Oh my God. Why is StreamYard not doing that? Okay, 1 second. Let me switch to headphones. Try that. Give me a sec, guys. Let me switch to headphones. Right, sound's coming through here. Right. Let me get the audio. Let me get the speaker through here. Echo cancellation. This is absolutely bizarre. LOE Mark says, Ultra pretending he can't hear like Eddie on the blower to UCAD about White's B sample. I can't hear a damn thing at the minute. And I think it's StreamYard. So I'm just going to give it one more crack. I've completely messed this up. Absolutely messed this up today. StreamYard's a freaking clown show. Hold on. Try that again. Audio. Default. Nothing through here. Let me just check this video here. Oh my gosh. How do I do this? How do I get some sound playing after we get my own video? It's StreamYard. Yeah, guys, it's StreamYard going tits up. StreamYard won't play through these bloody speakers. It won't. It's StreamYard. I can hear my own video. So StreamYard's just said it's not doing it. Automatically adjust mic. Yep. Okay, right. Well, that's completely and utterly... Abdul, I have to mute you for a sec. I've completely and utterly messed that up. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Try listening via YouTube. I could do that, actually. Yeah, but it's going to be a bit of a delay. There's going to be a bit of a delay on that. In the meantime, let me get something up. Let me get a video up from me to you. While we look at some while we got some technical difficulties going on, I don't know if you guys can hear this. I don't know if you can or can't, but this is a video of me saying a big thank you to everybody who supported the channel. So just give me 1 sec and I'll play this. I'm not a black guy, remember? Oh, look at that. Hold on. So let me just quickly change these audio settings. Switch my audio headphones off. The speaker's on. And let's just see. It's Ultra Tech here, probably the most hated man out on these YouTube webs at the minute. I just wanted to say this a personal thank you to everybody who stuck by me and everybody who supported me here on this platform. We've got somehow, I don't know how, but we've got to something like almost 700 subs in the space of about 4.5 weeks, which is ridiculous. The live numbers are pretty much back to what they were. Some of the lives have been doing 200, 300 views. So I really want to do something positive. There's a lot of beef and all this stuff going on at the minute in the boxing community and all that. I'm not, I don't want to get involved in that. You guys know me. I don't really have a bad word to say about anybody not named Eddie Hearn or Frank Smith. So certainly not involved in that. Leave those boys there to it. But I wanted to say a big thank you and to show you, look, man, I've been training for the last couple of weeks. I'm looking to get back in the gym. You guys always love my bad videos because you can make fun of me and make comments about how terrible I am and how rubbish I am. So let's do a little video. I'll show you today how I do my bad work. Now, obviously, I'm not a professional coach. I've never had no fights before. Some people, a couple people would say, he's got... Guys, just checking the sound. Can you still hear the sound of this video playing through? I'm going to give this one more go. If not, we'll have to get Abdul on another time. But can you guys still hear this coming through? Okay, sounds like you're in the bathroom. Okay, mate, no worries. Guys, that's the end of the stream. Thanks a lot. See you later.